Hello, this is Clarice. So last week I just uploaded the video for the battle among my oil layer base, and that is the end of my custom baby burst. From now on, I'm gonna move to my next projects, and as I talked before, I will not focus too much on the custom baby X in its first year. Well, I know I've already made Pexas, and probably I will make more in the future. But so for now, I will focus more on my own custom Beyblade generation, and it is called Beyblade Spiral. So first, let's take a look at the whole system, how it works. The Spiral system is inspired by the modified ZeroG and the burst sparking. It includes three parts: the cap, a plastic part, the plastic contact points, and it also determines the spin direction. Arm, the metal part in the middle, and it's also a part of the contact points. And because it's metal, it's pretty heavy, so basically this part determines the total weight of the whole Beyblade. And the tape, just like all the performance tape before, I mean the bottom in metal fight, the drivers in burst, and the bait in X. I don't know what that is called in Plastigen, but whatever. The tape, just like all the performance tape part before, it determines the way of movement of bay in the stadium. And to assemble the bay, you just put the cap and arm together, and you plug in the tape and twist it, and then you just lock it, and it is properly assembled. It's a very simple way to assemble the bay, and I believe it should be quite easy. Unlike X, you need to twist the gadget quite hard, or something like burst. Sometimes it has a weird problem. The teeth, yeah. This one should be quite simple, but although it is inspired by burst, it doesn't have the burst gimmick. So in this way, it's just like Metal Fight 2. Yeah, it's basically just like Metal Fight 2, but with some plastic contact points as well. To make it a little bit more, just to make it have more connect with the latest Beyblade generation, the Beyblade X. Instead, in addition to the regular tape, it will also have an X variation for each tape, just like this. The tape's X variation will enable it to battle in X Stadium and do extreme dash, just like an X Beyblade. And actually, you can use the bait from X onto this variation tape. But you cannot do this in the other way. You cannot put the X variation tape onto the X products. You will not be able to plug it in properly. This is just to make sure that people don't use the costume part inappropriately. So to launch the spiral bay, you will need my custom prom. This was developed for Metal Fight, but you will also need this to launch the spiral base. By the way, you will not be able to use the actual Metal Fight launchers because it's a little bit too tall. You will not be able to put spiral base onto that launcher properly. But if you cut the prom a little bit off, well, probably you can do that, but I would not recommend do that. It's not recommended. So maybe just you can get the 3D model of this prompts in the video description. Download it, and you just need to replace the prom onto the DB launchers from burst. Yeah. So in this case, the launcher is like a combination of both burst and the Metal Fight. Yeah. So that's it. How to launch it. And next, let's talk about the template file. There will be a lot of models to finish a design. So first, for the cap, you will have both the template for both right spin and left spin. You just use it. For arm, it's just one single template. You just do whatever you want. The tape has the regular one and the X variation. But just remember, only the file name with template is the one that you need to add things onto it to finish the design. Like the lock, the body, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to modify it at all. Or just take a closer look. The cap, the recommended size would be like 44 millimeter times 44 millimeters times 8 millimeters. The 8 millimeter is the height of the whole part. But usually, I mean, the 8 millimeter is the limitation of the height. No taller than 8 millimeter. But probably you can do it a bit more than that, but just to make it simple, don't exceed 8 millimeter, okay? And there are both left spin and right spin. Just do it whatever you want, and whatever kind of blades you like it. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much. And for arm is even simpler. The height will be slightly. I would recommend to no higher than 6 meter. Otherwise, it might just be too heavy. But if you really like something heavy, well, that's all on you. And for tape, just shown here, the log part, don't do anything onto it. Just keep it as it is. But for tape, you can add like. Well, for me, my typical tape is like have a 6 extra height as a button to the template model. So maybe 6 meter is the average height. If you want to make shorter, maybe 3-4 millimeter or even taller, 8 or 10, whatever. Just do something like that. And to assemble the tape, you will need two M2 times 5 millimeter screws. Make sure you got that properly. Maybe you can just use one from the offshore products. Those screws should work properly. Yeah. Maybe a little bit tight. And for the expiration, 8-inch strip part, the lock and body. Lock and body, don't do anything to it. You just need to modify the tape part. Well, I mean, I know it sounds a little bit weird. The tape part of the tape of... Well, but I hope you understand what I mean. Just modify the tape part of it. Yeah. You can just like do the design like on X speed because it's basically the same. It's almost the same, although you cannot plug it into the X space, but the concept are basically the same. So just add the tape of the tape part. That's it. So next, let's talk about the plan for next almost next 1 year. So by the end of this year, there will be 4 bays be released, one for each type. First, next week, I will publish the attack type bay called Blade Kurkan, and then a defense type called Bind Ouroboros. Then is a stamina type bay called Bright Selene. And the last one this year will be a best type called Blast Garuda. So the video will include 2 parts. The first part will be battle with modified base because this is technically modified too. And the second half will be about the battle with X Beyblades. But just as mentioned before, this system, the Spiral system, doesn't have burst gimmick. So and actually it will be a little bit heavier, maybe 5 grams heavier than the X base. I think 5 grams or more heavier than the X base. So it's not a very fair battle. Just be aware of that. It's not really fair. So the battle just for fun. Don't be too serious on that. That's it. And the next year, the first 4 bay will be also one for each type. This 4 bay side that I can show you. The attack type, Blaze Zeus. Defense type, Blood Arachnid. Stamina type, Brilliant Nyx. And balance type, Belophonus. So you may notice that all these 8 bays, the name started with B. This is because Beyblade is Beyblade. The Beyblade start with Bey, and I just want to emphasize that this generation, those Beys are a part of Beyblade. It's under the Beyblade. I mean, although it's not official release, but everything came from the Beyblade things. So I just name all the Beys starting with B. And all these 8 are the basic one, are the basic series. They're the basic design, everything are quite plain, no special gimmick, just like that. And after that, there will be something a little bit more special. The first 3 come after the furnace will be the 3 left spin bays, and they start with L to represent left. So the attack type, Lethal Leviathan, the defense type, Latent Nidhogg, and stem type, Luther Hydra. And after this 3, there will be more bays coming in 2024. There will be more interesting designs, I think. Probably interesting. Hopefully you will also feel they're interesting as well. Yeah. So, that's all about my current plan that I can show you by now. So thank you all for your support to my channel, and thank you for watching. Hopefully you will still enjoy our video in the future. See you next time. Bye bye.